boom, boom. Old school. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, Professor Mikey with you on Old School. On the day rock and roll was born, it made no news. No Walter Cronkite coming on saying, rock and roll was born today. That's because the event itself wasn't exactly a birth, but a morphing of so many different styles of music. It confuses the most hardcore rock historian. It was a cosmic fusion of African-American rhythm and blues with elements of swing, boogie-woogie, urban blues, Latin rhythms, country. To be young in the mid-50s to early 60s and not be a rock and roll fan was to be a square, daddy-o. The term itself can be found in the Roaring Twenties when Trixie Smith recorded My Baby Rocks Me with One Steady Roll in 1922. Cleveland disc jockey Alan Freed took to the airways in 1951 with the rhythm and blues radio show Moondog's Rock and Roll Party. Now, today we rev up the old school time machine magic bus to hover around the early 50s, long before Elvis recorded Hound Dog in 1956. For many years, that was considered the first rock and roll song, even though Elvis fans could make a better case with That's All Right Mama, recorded at the Yellow Sun Records in Nashville studio on July 5th, 1954. That sounds like a real birthday.
And the record man said everyone is a Yellow Sun record from Nashville.
But for this lesson, we reach back to 1951, and we're only going to go up to 1954. I think all of these songs are rock and roll.
Daddy-o.
Professor Mikey here. Take your seats, unless you feel like dancing.
Did he really say daddy-o?
Think of this show as pre-rock, pre-roll.
Crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Oh, man, that music's gone, gone. I said crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Oh, man, that music's gone, gone. When I go out and I want a treat, find me a band with a solid beat. Take my chick and we dance about. When they start rocking more, we start to shout, shout. Crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Man, that music's gone, gone. Go, 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 everybody. Go, 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 everybody. Go, 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 everybody. Go, 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 go. Crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Man, that music's gone, gone. Said crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Man, that music's gone, gone. They play it soft, they play it strong, they play it wide and they play it long. They just keep playing till they break it down. To keep them rocking on, you gotta say it's crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Crazy man, crazy. Man, that music's gone, gone. Go, 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 everybody. Go, 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 everybody. Go, 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 everybody. Go, 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 go.
That is Bill Haley and his comments. You know, when they dig for mummies in Egypt, the newer mummies are closer to the top. Crazy Man Crazy is not the first rock and roll record, but it is certifiable as well as verifiable that it is the first recognized rock and roll recording to appear on the national Billboard American charts. It peaked at number 12 on their jukebox chart for the week ending June 20th, 1953. And number 11 for 2 weeks on the Cashbox chart beginning for the week of June 13th. For what might be the true first rock and roll record, we got to go back a couple of years.
What the hell does that mean?
The beatniks of the mid-50s could trace a good deal of their cultural influence to the underground bop sounds of jazz that came from small labels like Debut Records in the early part of the decade. Detroit pianist Hank Jones had recorded with Ella Fitzgerald and Charlie Parker when he hooked up with the Singing Gordons in 1951. And the result was a portrait of an early beat type, the kind of music Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg listened to while they were adding words to the soundtrack that was already there. Here's the Gordons with the Hank Jones Trio and Bebopper.
Glasses are trimmed in gold. He's got a bow tie and it's crazy. He's a bebopper to his soul. I'm told he knows the latest riffs, no matter the hour he's cold. He spends all his time down at Birdland. He's a bebopper to his soul. When he's got eyes, he's satisfied. Charlie Parker's the bird. There's man. Language like this hasn't been heard, so he's misunderstood. Poor guy. So when he comes your way, remember what you've been told. He'll hold out his hand and say, baby, he's a bebopper to his soul. He's got his beret on, glasses are trimmed in gold. He's a bopper to his soul, and he knows the latest riffs, matter the hour he's cold. Ooh, bopper to you down, the bebopper to his soul. When he's got eyes, he's satisfied. Charlie Parker's the bird. There's man. Language like this hasn't been heard, so he's misunderstood. Poor guy. So when he comes your way, remember what you've been told. He'll hold out his hand and say, baby, the bebopper to his soul, bebopper to his soul.
Professor Mikey with you. We're in the gray area looking for the very first rock and roll song. You know, I'm always interested in what was going on in the news at the time. Granted, they probably wouldn't be saying they're about to discover rock and roll. They had bigger things to talk about, bigger fish to fry, like 4 atom bombs going off in 1 week. But don't worry, folks. The fallout's not going to hurt. Check this from Edward R. Murrow, 1951.
Last evening, we reported the third atomic test explosion in Nevada. We reported it as a mere footnote to the news of the day and suggested these things are becoming so routine as no longer even to be interesting as news items. With today's fourth explosion, we must rescue that story from the category of a footnote. This one this morning was the biggest of all. It shook nearby Las Vegas like an earthquake, shattered a big store window. brought a flood of alarmed inquiries, set off burglar alarms, and was visible 300 miles away in Los Angeles, where the New York office of the Atomic Energy Commission announces it's investigating reports that measurably radioactive snow has fallen at Rochester since the beginning of the Nevada tests. The commission emphasizes that the Rochester reports indicate there is no harm to humans or animals in this radioactive snow. An Associated Press survey reports today there are indications of a phenomenal upsurge of interest in religion in the United States.
What me worry, right? This is Big Joe Turner, 1951. Just don't call it rock and roll.
Get out of that bed, wash your face and hands. Get out of that bed, wash your face and hands. Well, you get in that kitchen, make some noise with the pots and pans. Well, you wear those dresses, the sun comes shining through. Well, you wear those dresses, the sun comes shining through. I can't believe my eyes, all the mess belongs to you. I believe to the soul you devil in my house. I believe to the soul you devil in my house. Well, Lord, I work the faster my money goes. I said, shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. Well, you won't do right to save your doggone soul. Yeah, blood. I like a one-eyed cat peeping in the seafood store. I like a one-eyed cat peeping in the seafood store. But I can look at you till you ain't no child no more. I shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. Well, you won't do right to save your doggone soul. I lay over the hill, way down underneath. I lay over the hill, way down underneath. You make me roll my eyes, baby, make me grit my teeth. I said, shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. Shake, rattle, and roll. Well, you won't do nothing to save your doggone soul. Shake, rattle, and roll.
Little Mickey Champion from Lake Charles, Louisiana had some modest hits in the 50s and 60s, disappeared for a while, then resurfaced as a seasoned blues woman in 2000. Today we're going to hear her in her heyday singing an especially dirty song written by Lieber and Stoller in 1952, just before they created Hound Dog for Big Mama Thornton. It's the same kind of a song about a woman singing about a man who loves her so naughty it makes her weak in the knees, as Joni Mitchell would later say. Lovin' Jim is his name, and here to deliver the goods is Little Mickey Champion, 1952.
Yes, I know that. They call him Loving Jim. Yes, there's
Now, Professor Mikey is not the first person in the last half century to note that Big Mama Thornton's version of Hound Dog, recorded almost 4 years before Elvis Presley got a hold of it, takes on a whole new meaning when sung by a woman. And what a woman! Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller wrote the song for Thornton, who at the time was singing with the Johnny Otis Band. It topped the R&B charts in 1953, then turned into a legal nightmare. The Peacock label gave Otis writing credit, then the lawyers swarmed in when various takeoffs were released. The story goes that Elvis was completely unaware of Big Mama's version when he recorded what would become a monster hit in 1956. Still, savvy critics noted that the song made little sense when sung by a man. Here's the original, Exhibit A. Big Mama Thornton recording in Los Angeles on August 13th, 1952. You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Been snooping around my door. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Been snooping around my door. You can wag your tail, but I ain't gonna feed you no more. You told me you was high class, but I can see through that. Yes, you told me you was high class, but I can see through that. And Daddy, I know you ain't no real cool cat. You ain't nothing but a hound dog with snooping around my door. You just a old hound dog with snooping around my door. You can wag your tail, but I ain't gonna feed you no more. Oh, plenty more. Oh, listen to them old hound dogs. Oh, it's all right up here. Now listen to that old hound dog hound. Ooh. Oh, play it, boy, play it. Oh, you make me feel good. Oh, do the mess around right long here. Now wag your tail. Oh, get it. Oh, get it now. Get it. Oh, you old hound dog. You made me feel so blue. You made me weep and moan. You made me feel so blue. Yeah, you made me weep and moan. 'Cause you ain't looking for a woman. Are you looking for? You ain't nothing but a hound dog with snooping around my door. You ain't nothing but a hound dog with snooping around my door. You can wag your tail, but I ain't gonna feed you no more.
The story of Hound Dog could be a book on its own. But what a great version from Big Mama Thornton. Now, at the same time, you have singers developing new styles, and a lot of the new styles are going to be picked up on by a guy driving a pickup truck named Elvis Presley in Memphis, Tennessee. Check out the way Clyde McPhatter sings Money Honey, and tell me you don't hear some early Elvis in this.
You know the landlord rang my front door bell. I let him ring for a long, long spell. I went to the window and peeped through the blind and asked him to tell me what was on his mind. He said, "Money, honey, yes, money, honey, money, honey. If you wanna stay here with me." I was clean as a screen and so hard pressed. I called the woman that I love best. I finally got my baby by the half past like to know what you want with me. I said, money, honey, money, honey, money, honey. If you wanna get along with me, she screamed and said, what's wrong with you? From this day on, our romance is through. I said, tell me, baby, face to face, how could another man take my place? She said, money, honey, money, honey, oh, money, honey. If you wanna get along with me, oh. If you wanna get along with me, if you wanna get along, oh, it may sound funny, if you wanna get along, but I ain't jiving you, honey. If you wanna get along, you gotta give up some money if you wanna get along with me.
Youth and innocence have a lot to do with the next recording. Well, youth at least. From the era that was preamble to rock and roll, we tune in on the Dewdroppers with a song written by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller, who were both 20 years old at the time. Even though the year was 1953, the song itself was a bit different than your normal pop fare. It was a tune about having sex with an underage girl in every room in the house until her father appears with a shotgun. Even though the song is fairly blatant, euphemism was a key ingredient in this rather filthy 45 on the Groove label. Let's ask the Dewdroppers at this point. Guys, what word do you use when you're talking about hot, passionate, vigorous, and enthusiastic sex?
Well, bam-a-lam, 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 bam-a-lam. You should have seen what a girl 17 did to me. Lordy, Lordy, bam-a-lam. Well, she took me to a party where she turned the lights down low, and she threw her arms around me, and she would not let me go. Bam-a-lam, 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 bam-a-lam. You should have seen what a girl 17 did to me. Lordy, Lordy, bam-a-lam. Boy, she took me in the kitchen. She made me drink some wine, and she hugged me. She kissed me, and she made me lose my mind. Bam-a-lam, 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 bam-bam, bam-a-lam, bam-a-lam. You should have seen what a girl 17 did to me. Lordy, Lordy, bam-a-lam. Well, we started in the kitchen. Man, we really had a ball. We rocked on through the parlor, and we moved out in the hall. We were doing the bam-a-lam, 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 bam-a-lam. You should have seen what a girl 17 did to me. Lordy, Lordy, bam-a-lam. When I took her home that morning, she said I had to be her man. She had a father waiting for me with a shotgun in his hand. Well, bam-a-lam, bam-a-lam, bam-bam, bam-a-lam, bam-bam, bam-a-lam, bam-a-lam, bam-a-lam. You should have seen what a girl 17 did to me. To me.
Train leaving on Tank 5 for Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga.
2 years before Elvis Presley released Mystery Train in 1955, the original was recorded in the same studio where Elvis would sing it. Sam Phillips, the owner of the Sun label, produced both of the recordings and shares writing credits with the original performer, Junior Parker. Parker had been discovered singing the blues at the age of 19 by Ike Turner. Junior moved from Ike's label, Modern Records, to Sun in 1953, the year he turned 21 and had his first real hit. Some of the lyrics echo a 1930 song from the Carter family called Worried Man Blues, the part about the train being 16 coaches long. But this is the version that Elvis found. Recorded at Sun Records at 706 Union Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee, Little Junior Parker and the Blue Flames, 1953, and Mystery Train.
Train I ride, 16 coaches long. Train I ride, 16 coaches long. Well, that long black train carried my baby from home. Train, coming on round the bend. Train, coming on round the bend. Well, it took my baby, it's gonna do it again.
Mystery Train was Junior Parker riding the rails in 1953. Exactly how the term rock and roll was popularized shook out over time. It's also important to note that not everyone was embracing the new sound that cut across many lines. I want you to hear a little Alan Freed while we're swimming in these early 50s waters. Freed was a recording artist with a local reputation, had a small kind of a bebop band, but his real fame came from his making the new music the centerpiece of his radio show. But an old and boring cultural disease was at the root of much of the controversy. The soundbite you're going to hear recorded May 4th, 1957, 4 months before Dick Clark also started appearing on that 21-inch living room glass screen. The Big Beat, hosted by Alan Freed, was the first national broadcast of a rock music television show. Freed was 36 and certainly old enough to know better, bursting with promotion and enthusiasm as he introduces 14-year-old Frankie Lyman with his group, the Teenagers. What you won't see or hear is young Frankie Lyman dancing with a white teenage girl in the audience, and apparently it was enough to get the show canceled 4 weeks later. What a time.
Hello, everybody. How are you all? This is yours truly, Alan Freed. Get your dancing shoes on, and welcome to the Rock and Roll Dance Party.
From New York City, the home of rock and roll, we welcome you to the big beat in popular music in America. And here's the king of rock and roll himself, Alan Freed.
Thank you, Vern Bennett, and welcome to our Camel Rock and Roll Dance Parties. Right now, we'd like to tell you a little musical story about a young group called the Teenagers. And his story is a pretty important one, especially to the youth of our country. They want to learn how to become hit stars overnight. Little Frankie Lyman, 13 years old, wrote the song and recorded it with his own vocal group called the Teenagers, heading for the 1 million mark in sales. Here they are in person on our rock and roll dance party to sing Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
Why do fools fall in love? Why do birds sing so gay? Love is the way to break of day. Why do they fall in love? Why does the rain fall up? Why do fools fall in love? Why do they fall in love?
And they'll be back with us after this.
Thanks for tuning into Professor Mikey's Old School. Think of it as radio with no commercials, no pledge breaks, and no predictability. It's a free subscription, so click the red button on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts and you'll never miss an episode. There is no pass, there is no fail. Sharing it with a friend and that friend subscribes keeps it all going. And when you are non-monetized, you have to rely on magic, good vibrations, and the kindness of strangers. Now let's get out on the floor, honey. Let's rock some more.
Etta James, who we lost in 2012, 2 weeks before her 74th birthday, was 16 years old when she recorded The Wallflower in 1954. Here's the story.
Miss Peaches was born to a 14-year-old unwed mother. She claimed her father was pool hustling legend Minnesota Fats. She began singing at age 5 with the Echoes of Eden Choir in Los Angeles. In 1952, she moved to San Francisco, where she got a job singing with the Johnny Otis Band. She recorded her first biggie in 1954, an answer song to Hank Ballard's Work With Me, Annie. The other voice on the record is that of Richard Berry, the guy who wrote Louie Louie. From the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as well as the Blues Hall of Fame, here she is with The Wallflower, Dance With Me, Henry. Etta James on Old School.
Hey, baby, what do I have to do to make you love me too.
You got to roll with me, Henry.
All right, baby.
Roll with me, Henry.
Don't mean maybe.
Roll with me, Henry.
In the old time.
Roll with me, Henry.
Won't change my mind.
Roll with me, Henry.
All right.
You better roll it while the rolling is on. Roll on, roll on, roll on. While the cats are falling, you better stop your stalling. It's intermission in a minute, so you better get with it. Roll with me, Henry. You better roll it while the rolling is on. Roll on, roll on, roll on. Oh, 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 we, Henry, you ain't moving me. You better feel that boogie beat. Get the leg out of your feet. Oh, roll with me, Henry. 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 You better roll it while the rolling is on. Roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on. Roll with me, Henry.
All right, baby.
Well, I ain't teasing.
Talk to me, baby.
You better stop your freezing.
All right, mama.
If you wanna romancing,
Okay, sure.
you better learn some dancing. Roll with me, Henry.
All right.
You better roll it while the rolling is on. Roll on, roll on, roll on. Roll with me, Henry.
All right, baby.
Roll with me, Henry.
Don't mean maybe.
Roll with me, Henry.
In the old time.
Roll with it, Henry.
Won't change my mind.
Roll with me, Henry.
All
You
right.
better roll it while the rolling is on. Roll with me, Henry.
All right, baby.
Roll with me.
Fame, fortune, platinum records. It's every boy's dream.
Billy the Kid Emerson came out of the Navy after serving in World War II and got his name when a club owner in St. Petersburg, Florida, insisted it would be a good gimmick for him to dress up like a cowboy. In 1952, Emerson was back in the service, this time in the Air Force, where he met young band leader Ike Turner in Greenville, Mississippi. He began singing with Turner's Kings of Rhythm. Ike got Emerson in the door with Sam Phillips and Sun Records, where he recorded this song in Memphis in 1954. Now, record collectors love to find the original. It's worth about $800. Here's Billy the Kid Emerson and the Woodchuck.
I've got a baby that can make a bulldog hug a hound. Woo! Now I've got a baby that can make a bulldog hug a hound. Yeah, and when I go to work, I don't want to see none of you cats hanging around. You know what I did? I took her up to Alaska, way up to Alaska, just to see the snow. I took her up to Alaska to see the snow, and you know what she did, man? She sold her icebox to one of those Eskimos. And you know what? She comes telling me one day, she said, how much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? She said, how much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Tell the chuck all the wood that a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Woo! You know, when I threw you out before, baby, you begged me like a dog to take you back. Yeah, that's what you did. When I threw you out before, baby, you begged me like a low-down dog to take you back. and now you just want to run over me just like you walking across a railroad track. How you gonna act? Well, she said, how much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? She said, how much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Well, they chuck all the wood that a woodchuck chuck, that a woodchuck could chuck wood. Woo! She said, look here. She told me, say, I need your loving, Billy, but I need some money too. Yeah, that's what she told me. Just come right out plain and told me, say, I need your loving. After all I done for, say, I need some money too. And she said, look here, say, tell me, Billy, say, boy, what you gonna do? Well, I said, how much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? To chuck all the wood that a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
It was records that brought two future Stones together in the first place when they were both around 17 years old. Keith Richards got on the commuter train to Victoria Station in London in October of 1960, and there was Mick Jagger with a stack of albums that included Chuck Berry's Rockin' at the Hop, along with some Muddy Waters and some Little Walter. Mick said, "You listen to this stuff?" Keith said, "Man, I play it." Something in the universe clicked, and we now know that once you start them up, they will never stop. Here's a song off that Best of Muddy Waters album that Mick was clutching on that fateful day, one the Stones would record on their first album, England's Newest Hitmakers. McKinley Morganfield's recording of Willie Dixon's I Just Want to Make Love to You.
I don't want you to be no slave. I don't want you to wake all day. I don't want you to be true. I just want to make love to you. I don't want you to wash my clothes. I don't want you to keep a hold. I don't want your money too. I just want to make love to you. Love to you. Love to you. Your man that I could love you, babe, until the crying shame. I don't want you to cook my bread. I don't want you to make my bed. I don't want you because I'm sad and blue. I just want to make love to you.
Marion Walter Jacobs is the only person in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame who got there by being a sideman who played the blues harmonica. That's how incredible he was. Born in Louisiana, he quit school at age 12 to become a street musician, working as a busker through Arkansas all the way to Memphis, then finally landing in Chicago, where he played alongside the very first Sonny Boy Williamson. By the 1950s, he was recording on the Chess label as a very important part of the Muddy Waters Band. In 1952, he began recording under his own name and scored big on the R&B charts for the rest of the decade. He toured Europe many times in the 60s, but his life ended at age 37 due to a long love affair with alcohol coupled with a short temper. He died in his sleep on his girlfriend's couch in Chicago in February of 1968 after getting in a bad fight the night before. Here's the king of the post-war blues harp, Little Walter, playing in 1954. It's a song written by the guy who plays bass on the record, Willie Dixon, Little Walter, and Mellow Down Easy.
Jump here, you jump there, you jump everywhere, then you mellow down easy, mellow down easy, you mellow down easy when they really want to blow your top. You shake here, you shake there, you shake everywhere, then you mellow down easy, mellow down easy, you mellow down easy when you really want to blow your top. Down easy, mellow down easy, you mellow down easy when you really want to blow your top.
Professor Mikey's Old School. Pre-rock, pre-roll. It will claim your feet and save your soul.
Oh, what you want to know about is sexual intercourse.
The Clovers usually aren't the first name that comes to mind when recalling the precursor to rock and roll known as doo-wop. But the Washington, D.C. group was a major influence. Over a stretch of 6 years, they logged more hits for the Atlantic label than any other R&B group in that label's history. Tenor baritone Harold Hal Lucas, tenor Billy Shelton, and bass Robert Woods were students at Armstrong High School during the mid-40s when they formed a trio led by Lucas, who also came up with the name The Clovers. A fourth member, John Buddy Bailey, another tenor, joined up and eventually became their lead singer. Today the theme is money. It's 1954. Here are The Clovers, and your cash ain't nothing but trash.
Walking down the main drag one night, I met a fine chick built just right. She stopped when I flashed my roll. I told her she she could have all of my gold. She turned around and with a frown said, this ain't no circus and I don't need a clown. Your cash ain't nothing but trash. Your cash ain't nothing but trash. Your cash ain't nothing but trash. So it ain't no need in your hanging around just to make a hit with that chick. I tried to get a Cadillac right quick. The man at the place looked so strange at $900 and some change. We disagreed. I tried to plead. He said I ain't a chicken and I don't need your feed. Your cash ain't nothing but trash. Your cash ain't nothing but trash. Your cash ain't nothing but trash. Baby, you're crawling way past your speed. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. And counting my bucks, a man with a gun said, hands up. I tried to get away, but too slow. He conked me and took all of my dough. I heard him shout as he cut out, you ain't lost nothing, what you crying about? Your cash ain't nothing but trash. Your cash ain't nothing but trash. Your cash ain't nothing but trash. And he took my watch and I passed out. I woke up in the arms of a big cop. Police station, a next stop. The judge swung his fist down. Plunk, plunk, $20 fine cause you're drunk. Dig up the dough and you can go. All I had was a buffalo. Your cash ain't nothing but trash. Your cash ain't nothing but trash. Your cash ain't nothing but trash. But I'm sure gonna get me some more.
The Clovers from 1954, a great year for Cadillacs. Professor Mikey here. Today we heard just a handful of the songs that were probably rock and roll before the term was officially adopted. It was an exciting time for music as well as the rest of the world. The Americans as well as the Russians were testing bigger and better bombs every week.
Do you realize the radius, the area of destruction from the explosion of one hydrogen bomb? It's too late to run.
We can survive this. We can't do it with you yelling your head off.
On a different scale, down in Montgomery, Alabama, Rosa Parks was about to decide she wasn't going to give up her bus seat to any more white men. In Minnesota, Bob Dylan was thinking about moving to New York. The times, they were a-changing. The kind of music that would transcend into rock and roll was filling the airwaves. There was too much experimenting going on to think about formalities and trivial naming ceremonies. The music was fun, great to dance to, and deserving of the volume control turned up to 11. Completely unexpected was what rock and roll was doing for society, bringing people together on 33, 45, and 78. It was surely a time of pre-rock and pre-roll. Any music you've heard in this session resides within the public domain or is used within the guidelines of fair use provided for in Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Podcast carriers compensate artists directly. If you're an artist who feels your work's been improperly used or misrepresented, please contact our producers at professormikey.substack.com and we will file your music in files labeled What Might Have Been. Unexpurgated episodes of Old School are available on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcasts. Several episodes are also ready to rock and ready to roll on Professor Mikey's Old School on YouTube. You can subscribe there. One more question that doesn't have a definitive answer. What was the first rock and roll song? Many of our current music scholars point to one tune coming out of Sam Phillips' Son studio that was recorded in 1951, long before Elvis walked in the door. Let's take a ride in a Rocket 88 and join us again soon for Old School, where the past is a blast.
True archaeologists can point back to 1951 and Sam Phillips' Son studio. Here's an underage artist who has to have his mother sign the paperwork performing with Ike Turner's Kings of Rhythm. Jackie Brinston calls them the Delta Cats, and the song is all about the joys of drinking and driving. So much for political correctness. What you'll hear, though, is something that is slightly different from R&B and very well may be the first rock recording. Jackie Brinston and the Delta Cats and Rocket 88.
You women have heard of jalopies, you've heard the noise they make, but let me introduce my new Rocket 88. Yes, it's straight, just one way. Everybody likes my Rocket 88. Baby, we'll ride in style, moving all along. And it's smart and designed, black convertible top, and the gals don't mind. Sporting with me, riding all around town for joy. Blow your horn, Raymond, blow. Step in my rocket and don't be late, baby. We're pulling out about 8:30. Going round the corner and get a fifth. Everybody in my car's gonna take a little lift. Move on out, oozing and cruising along.
Old School is out. Old School is out. Out.